Welcome to your 15-minute restorative quick fix. I'm Michelle Pittman, owner and operator of Define Me Wellness and Under the Lilac Tree. Begin in a comfortable seat, perhaps propped up in a kneeling position with a couple of blocks underneath your sitting bones, and take a few conscious breaths, exhaling any worries or concerns and just place them off to the side. Our first pose will be a supported twist using 2 blocks and a bolster or a couple of pillows. Start by setting up your support with 2 blocks, one positioned at mid-height, the other positioned at the lower height, and then place your bolster over top and just ensuring that the structure is fairly solid. I also use a sandbag here just for some additional weight, so that is an option for you as well. We'll get that going in a moment. Start with your left hip alongside the bottom edge of your bolster, and maybe positioning a smaller pillow or a folded blanket at the top for your head. Extending the left leg out to the side. Again, that is an option for you. And slowly lowering down, resting your left cheek on the top side of your bolster or that folded blanket. You'll notice that I also placed the sandbag along the side of my shin just to kind of anchor my lower leg into the floor. And then I've positioned another blanket, a folded blanket, underneath the forearms so that the forearm is supported and I'm not having to hold any of my muscles in place there. And just allow that left side body to get heavy and relaxed into the support of your props. Closing down the eyes. And just feeling the inhale travel through the right side of the body. And softly exhaling deeper into the support of your props. We'll stay here for several more breaths. And if anything is not serving you in terms of your prop setup, give yourself permission to release and change the shape of your pose or the structure of your pose. And to come out of this pose on the side, you'll just slowly peel the side body and the side of the face off of the mat. We'll be transitioning to the other side, so turning away from your bolster and then shift onto your right hip. So the right hip is alongside the bottom edge of the bolster, optioning to extend the right leg out and maybe using that sandbag support to anchor the foot down, or the bottom portion of the leg down, and releasing the head down here. And you'll notice that this side looks a little bit different for me, and that I'm not using the folded blanket to support my head or the left side of the jaw. And that's okay. Give yourself permission once again to change the way it looks. It doesn't have to be identical on both sides. I do still have the folded blanket propped up under my forearm, and I just let my fingertips just gently kind of dangle over the sides. The first minute or so is really just settling into the pose, ensuring that it fits your body and your needs. An option not pictured here would even be to take another blanket and just drape it over the body, kind of hugging you into this supported pose. And in this part of the sequence, the right side of the body is supported by the props, and the left side of the body, there's a slight kind of opening up towards the ceiling. So as you breathe in, feel a gentle lift of that left side of the body. And then as you exhale, feel the right side of the body gently ground into the support of your props. And let's stay here for a few more moments. Transitioning once again. Let this transition just be an extension of the pose. Take your time with it. And then you slowly kind of peel the side body and the side of the face off of the prop. And let's adjust our structure for our next pose, our final pose. We'll use the two blocks once again. I like to place them at a medium setting. And roughly you want the blocks kind of hip distance so that your calves are going to be parallel to those blocks. Place the bolster over top, long ways. And you'll notice that I gently place my calves on top of the bolster, again in line with those blocks. I'm using my folded blanket this time to support the back of the neck, trying to keep that natural curve through the back of the neck, but there's support there in the blanket, so I'm not having to hold my muscles up and not create any tension there. And once again, I like to use the sandbag to help kind of ground me into this pose. It's placed at my low belly. Giving yourself permission to adjust any of the props. So perhaps adjusting the blanket fold underneath the head. Letting the feet dangle over the bolster. Softening down the eyes. And allowing the arms to come out to either side, perhaps with the palms facing up. A second blanket might be nice to just drape over the feet and up onto the chest. You can even use the sandbag or some kind of soft weighted item on the belly as a tool for bringing you into awareness of your breath. Noticing as you inhale the gentle rise of the belly into the bag, and the exhale kind of brings it all back down. And maybe even feeling that tailbone gently root into your mat or the floor. I breathe in. I breathe out. Notice what the breath feels like in your body. And can you shape it in such a way that it feels like it is supporting you in this moment of relaxation? Make the necessary adjustments to bring the body into deeper relaxation. And shaping the breath by just allowing the inhale and the exhale to be of an equal ratio. And then maybe attempting to make the breath, the exhale, just a little bit longer than the inhale. But don't force it. Let your breath support you. And do what it needs to do to bring you into that sense of comfort and ease. Stay here for as long as you need. Attempt to stay for 5 minutes at a minimum, and stay for as long as 15 to 20 minutes even after this video has ended. Let this practice be your own. If you are transitioning now, start by just gently opening up the eyes and taking the sandbag off of the belly. Okay, bring your feet onto the bolster and slowly transition to one side. Pause here and gently press yourself up. And before continuing on for the remainder of your day, just take a moment to reflect on your practice. Maybe returning to that supported kneeling or seated posture. I'm using 2 blocks here to help release some of that tension in through the knees or the hips. So elevating and putting my sitting bones on those elevated blocks. Hands on the thighs, closing down the eyes. A few conscious breaths, returning you to your day. Thank you for joining me. Take care.